Although it's rather late to get stuck into the design, while you or I might switch on the computer and trawl the internet for inspiration, Andrew and Helen have a flight roster that includes some exotic destinations.
I've just flown in from London, and now we're here in Miami, and we've come to see some Art Deco and get some ideas for the house.
It just goes to show you that research isn't fun. A lot of hard work goes into this, and we hope we get some interesting things out of the trip.
Miami Art Deco is famous for its use of vibrant colour and bold, streamlined shapes.
I love
Look at the top.
that middle detail there.
Although the style began in Europe, nowhere embraced it with more enthusiasm than America.
We're trying to decide what to put on the front. We've got a detailing on the front of the house, and just seeing these colours here today sort of makes it come alive, and you think, well, actually, I love the turquoises and the blues and things, so I think we're going to try and use those sort of colours on the front of the house.
Yeah, it's very subtle, isn't it? It's very small, very subtle.
A few blocks behind the Theatre of South Beach are hundreds of smaller residential houses, much closer in scale to what Andrew and Helen are building.
Oh, look at the light switch. Because we haven't really done wall lights, have we? I think perhaps we need to look into that.
Beautiful dining room, isn't it? Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
I am, however, being drawn to these amazing tiles here. Look at this. How classic is that? See, I think the black works really well with this nice green colour. It's made up my mind we're going to have black tiling in the bathroom.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my goodness, look at that arch. Oh, whoa. Whoa, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. Well, you know, it's the sort of thing you can only do when you build a place.
Yeah, I really like
You
this.
can't fit that again.
I really like this archway. Stunning. This is the place where Art Deco is at its most colourful and vibrant. It's just lovely to see it all together.
It's opened more avenues, the interior side of things, hasn't it, really?
Well, definitely, even
in here.
Looking to the side of me now, I can see the inset panels in the ceiling, and I just think they look really great, and that's definitely something we can do. No, I think it's been really good.
As soon as Andrew and Helen get back, they begin to feed their new ideas into the build, beginning with the kitchen. 1930s kitchens were basic and hidden out of sight, so they brought in a designer to help them create something that'll suit open-plan contemporary living, but still has a strong Art Deco flavour.
Following the themes that I've researched on Art Deco, they use an awful lot of burr timbers.
Right.
Very wild veneers. So if we take something like burr poplar.
That poplar, is it?
Burr poplar, yeah. It's the tall, thin
Wow.
trees. But it's the base of the tree.
Crikey.
But it's very, very heavily figured.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a real statement with the main timber. In a lot of the Art Deco things I've seen, they're using blonde timbers.
Yeah.
Decorated and finished off in very dark black ebonies and walnuts. The finished product is going to end up looking like this.
Blimey.
So it's completely different.
Wow.
Yeah. But we've still got this figuring in.
Great.
But the framework around the doors and around the drawer fronts will be in the dark walnut.
That's great, isn't it? Wow.
So you like the idea so far?
Oh,
Yeah. And what about the extractor?
So remember the photographs you gave me of your trip to Miami?
Yeah.
With the facades on the hotels and the structures. What we've tried to do there is replicate these towers.
Yeah.
It's not only the interior of the house that's being lavished with attention. Outside, the beautifully crafted roof is nearly on. All that's left is to fit the rainwater harvesting system.
It's a recycling system. The rainwater will all be collected into the pipes that lead down eventually into the storage tanks that are going to filter, repump the water back into the house.
So far, Alan and his team have done very well, but they're about to face their biggest challenge. This Art Deco house is filled with majestic curves, which Alan's plasterers need to transform into beautiful, streamlined shapes. But this kind of rendering hasn't been in vogue for almost 70 years.
It's a challenge for us. The curves on the sides of the house are actually quite tight little curves. When the plasterers come to render, they will be rendering round corners, and that will be a little bit tricky because they always like to render to a straight edge.
Not just the curves, but the whole building needs to be rendered to the exacting standards of Art Deco. Unless they can pull this off, then Andrew and Helen's sparkling Art Deco dream could turn into a dull suburban mediocrity. In Surrey, pilots Andrew and Helen Berry are recreating an Art Deco home in an environmentally sustainable way. 5 months in, and the house is almost weather-tight. They're entering a crucial stage of this build when Andrew and Helen need to give all their attention to the Art Deco details which will bring this place to life. This has kind of come on in leaps and bounds, really, hasn't it? I'm quite surprised they put the glazing in before they've done the rendering. I suppose it's sensible.
Yeah, they want to render up to the glass, apparently.
And tell me, these details, like the curved detail, the concrete up there, does that get rendered?
Certainly the brickwork, yes.
Yeah.
And then they'll fill the sort of curves there, and then it'll all be painted
We might
over.
have to paint the coping stones, but we're hoping not to.
And what's this?
Well, that's the canopy that's going over the front. So that's going to sit in a slot up here and come out over the doorway.
So it just seems to be floating in front of the building. That was the plan.
Mm-hmm. There is that kind of, sort of effortless quality, isn't there, to a lot of deco design?
That's right.
Yeah.
So we've designed this to be lighter,
free.
lighter, so it can actually slot in there and sit above the door.
I have to say, this looks all rather effortless as well in here.
Yeah, it sort of funnels you in almost, doesn't it?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's a nice
The whole-
welcoming hall area.
It's beginning already to kind of become an elegant building, you know?
So, yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about these windows, though. They're double glazed.
Yep.
They are metal. They're not.
They're aluminium, yes. The company we've used told us what the proportions should be for the windows upstairs, the sort of Art Deco ones at the front, because they've been commissioned to replace Art Deco windows in original Art Deco buildings.
Listed buildings.
Yeah.
So, and you can get steel double glazed windows still, but they're really, really expensive. And when you look at these aluminium ones, I don't think they could be any better.
It's kind of look grand, isn't it?
Yeah.
All these
great.
sweeping curves.
Yeah.
As this house takes shape, Andrew and Helen are becoming more and more confident about their ideas. At the top of the facade, they've decided to incorporate some inspiration from Miami into their airplane motif.
So this is the turquoise glass tile, and this is going to form the wings. There are going to be several of these set
Three
in
rows.
the render across there. We saw these colours in Miami and just absolutely loved the turquoise blue, and I just think that's such an archetypal deco colour.
So you've got a date stone below it, black diamond, these wings, and the fuselage, as it were, of your aeroplane, which is going to be the black window.
And above we're going to have a sunburst. It's a
semicircle.
Rays.
Rays.
Yeah, rays.
Yes.
So we've approached a guy who's going to carve it from granite. Stonemason.
Original Art Deco style celebrated high-quality detailing and craftsmanship. So it's good to see that Helen and Andrew are employing their own experts.
Well, this is the Chinese granite for the sunburst design for the house. The idea is a centrepiece. Basically, this sits in there at a raised level to the rest of it. The actual rays themselves milled out to different levels, and the idea is once it's up onto the wall at the front of the house, and the sun will hopefully catch different shadows. And that's the idea of it.